world championship to defend, and standing in their way as a familiar foe. It's time to settle the score once and for all, and Mimi, I have a feeling these two teams are going to tear the house down.
Into the back though, span through the wall will not be enough in the box as well, tracking them all the way through Com. Right click into the classic to win the clutch.
Nice, let's go!
Multiple players now fully blinded up, close to the corner, they're all being dealt with at the back of the site. Kawazine, 1v2, 1v1 tonight!
Ethan, the safe pair of hands, takes things home for EG.
Got close to dice here. It's really going to start to be swarmed and overwhelmed. Team of one, heaven position, ADS. Wide swing, wide face, can't isolate it. That is it, EG taking map number one. Damage barely being done, surely enough for the kill. It's just so unusual. There's a flash to set it up around the corner.
Oh, has he got two there?
Jorgamo, absolute magician level plays. Forget rabbits, I'm talking about kills. 2 years. Jorgamo again. This is absurd, man.
You tried a long range shot. Hey, I don't know, man. I'll touch.
Evil Geniuses closing things out on Lotus. 13-4 is way more dominant than I was expecting.
Now making a move. It's a flash re-clearance. No good connection. Still 1-for-1. Maybe a bit more good from Boostio. He's missed it again. He's missed it entirely, but Boostio still locking it down. That is definitely one way to get an ace.
That was a nice ace.
Jet player won't be getting away with anything. Aspas, though, on the other hand, really just handing it to them.
He's found the timing, slipped through, Con retreats, and it's too easy.
Right from behind, they do not anticipate it, they do not expect it. It is played once more, all the way to perfection! Com just does not lose clutches. Everybody grouping up onto the corner. Aspas still holds his ground. Here's a TP, and here to contain. Loud are not done yet.
What a response from this super team from Brazil. Looking fantastic on Pearl.
Massive advantage for them. How does it get played by EG? Util is here, surely. But in waiting now. The nade attempt flying, but the flash, I mean, it's over in a blink of an eye. His feet, the reposition of Ethan is quite nice. It's immaculate. The game plan to try and force the fight, force the issue. It's nasty. This is it, on the cusp of it all. It's up to them, team and one. Gotta land it, gotta hit it. 2 years out wide, finishes the fight.
Loud take us to bind, attempting to make this reverse sweep a reality.
Here towards the back of the site, it's all good together, still Loud, maybe not. In their faces with the sprayed out Aspas. It has to be a half stick all the way through, getting off a bit.
What a round.
Bit of a miracle here, dropping down. Flash on the hands, a bit of a fake play. Boostio together, collected, down to the wide, and they angle. Playing a bit of positioning, less. Bit further forward here, near side.
This
is
is rough.
Com! This is looking like an absolute round win.
Let's go, man!
Evil Geniuses pulling off once more, a bit of a repeat of history. Loud on the verge of trying to complete a reverse sweep, on the verge of potential greatness, but stolen away from a team that began the season with the lowest of expectations.
What a meteoric rise this has been for EG.
Evil Geniuses pulling off once more, a bit of a repeat of history. Loud on the verge of trying to complete a reverse sweep, on the verge of potential greatness, but stolen away from a team that began the season with the lowest of expectations.
What a meteoric rise this has been for EG. To go from a team that no one expected anything of, to making 2 back-to-back Grand Finals appearances. In Los Angeles, to Chance of USA, out in the arena, EG do it in 5.
Love to see it. Putting on a show for all of us, making sure we got our money's worth.
And this is only the first time that Loud have failed to make a Grand Finals once they get to playoffs. the first time that they've been denied a finals appearance without bombing out in groups. Loud at that level of a team, with that level of legacy, and EG have overcome.
Obstacles and hurdles, everything they have faced, they have met head on. The preparation is there, ladies and gentlemen. EG have earned their spot in that grand finals.
Taking down the defending champions, eliminating them in 2023. Revenge for EG. They take down the winner of Americas. And now their chance for revenge on Paper Rex. Denying Jing his title perhaps right before retirement. The villainous arc absolutely continues.
It's at large. It is certainly at large. That series, man, I mean, could barely believe it. It seems like neither can the EG players themselves. I mean, yeah.
That's an unreal one.
For a lot of them, that is an unreal one.
Also from the EG players, they're still kind of new to big BO5s, especially in an arena of this size. So for the BO5 to go with them being up and then feeling like they were losing their grip on it, having Loud come back with such fury, and yet now they know deep in their bones that even when they're pushed like that, they still have what it takes to be able to overcome and get themselves ready for one more.
Yeah. Of course, you know, not all of the players in this team starting from zero when it comes to that big stage experience, but it's a whole lot of them, and now they've proven themselves. This is back-to-back grand finals earned for EG. That placement there can be no more doubts.
No, this is not a hot streak. This is not a fluke. This is not a team that doesn't deserve to be here. EG have put blood, sweat, and tears into every one of these rounds. The improvements, the amount that this team is working, the amount that every team at this level is working can't be denied.
I'm just so impressed again. Keep hitting their home with a resilience that's been showcased by EG. Not many teams are able to bounce back when it feels like the entire series is spiraling out of your control.
And what a moment that was, the round that you just saw. Round 14, EG lost the pistol and were offered an opportunity to get back into it.
Let's go, man.
And they went nuts from there, winning every tight moment to push themselves closer and closer to the finish line. There have only ever been 2 teams that have beaten Loud on bind. Now there are 3. The stuff that EG has had to do to be able to put these runs together is nothing short of miraculous.
The reactions say it all. Ice cold and collected from some of them, but absolutely explosive from others. Can imagine it just means the world, the culmination of your year. The journey does not end for VCT, not just yet for EG. We're gonna send it down for the Verizon post-match interview.
Oh, everybody give it up for Ethan! Hi, Ethan. Congratulations. Thank you very much for joining me. What's it like to play in front of this crowd?
Yeah, it's insane. It's
Yeah?
honestly, you guys are beating Tokyo, I think. This crowd's insane. It's awesome.
I think they really like that. They love that one. Now, you've been competing for a while. I know you found success in the past before in other games, but how does it feel to be able to finally reach this level of consistency in Valorant?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice, you know, especially the group of guys, right? It's, I just like to share experiences. So getting them this far, them helping me get this far too, it's a dream.
Why do you think you guys have been able to reach here? Because I think we talk about this miracle, this Cinderella, and so on, but what actually went on behind the scenes? How much did you put into this?
It's definitely a lot of stuff, but I think it all boils down to chemistry. I think, you know, the team's super close, everyone trusts each other, and that's what's winning you games, for sure.
It also seems that your teammates are very animated. For you, even just now when you won, you were very cool, very calm, very collected. Do you think that helps maybe in situations like clutches and so on?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, that keeps the team hype. You know, we got Busio always standing up and yelling no matter what. Draw, calm, even Demon 1 sometimes they'll say a word. So it definitely helps.
Today, though, I think it was a long day. Maybe it didn't need to go on as long as you guys felt like. You had a chance to close out map 3 and map 4. What happened? What do you think went wrong?
Map 3, you know, we kind of just got rolled, honestly. We never really got a good start. There was a lot of ecos, a lot of low money. Split, I think they were in control for the most part, up until the end maybe, and then Binds, I told them to all come back and, you know, dig deep and use every little bit of energy you have left today, even though it's been a long day, and that's what we did.
And I know Potter helps a lot in situations like this, right? In the pauses, backstage, in between maps as well. What did she say to you guys as you guys came out to Bind? Because you've been in this situation before. Bind was the last map against Fnatic as well when you played in that 3-0. So a lot of, I guess, PTSD maybe for you guys.
A little bit, yeah. But no, she just said, you know, stay happy, guys. Keep out the energy. That's what's going to win us this game, and it did. So
it definitely worked. I think for you, coming into this tournament, you were leading globally when it comes to assists. Nobody could touch you. No one was close. I think right now you're still leading, and I feel like your job sometimes is not really dictated by stats, right? Because if you don't know what you're looking at, the flash is coming in, and so on. So what is it like for you to play such an important support role and to play it to the level that you do as well?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to my teammates knowing how to be supported and, you know, vice versa, right? Me knowing how to help them. It's all just that trust thing. Again, I think, you know, we have a really good system right now. So it's easy for me. They make my job easy.
I mean, the timings are immaculate when you're throwing those flashes. And lastly, it's going to be a rematch, Ethan, in the grand finals against Paper X. It didn't go your way last time. Do you have any concerns or anything that you feel like that you guys are going to be able to address to make sure you do win that grand final tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we beat them in the last BO5, so hopefully we can do it again. They play a weird style, not gonna lie, but you know, we'll be ready.
Oh, I mean, these guys will definitely want to see you do it, but thank you very much, Ethan. Guys, one more time for Ethan, please.
The miracle run continues for Evil Geniuses. What started off as a season of despair could very well end up with them holding a trophy over their heads. Unbelievable what we've seen here today, and genuinely, Mimi, unbelievable from Loud as well. I think both teams gave us everything that we possibly could have wanted in this series. I said they were going to blow the roof down. I think they more than did that here at the Kia Forum. What an incredible game.
Yeah, it was an excellent series all the way through. Loud nearly making another reverse sweep happen. Yeah. And again, it slips away from them in the final map. But for EG, I think they really showed how strong this team is to come out swinging on the first two maps, have fantastic game plans against Loud and utterly shut them down. Then take, honestly, two really bad map losses and come back into Bind completely reinvigorated to make that final map happen, to find their way to the second grand finals in a row. It's incredible.
And for Bind specifically, I think across the whole series, the macro has been very consistent, but for Bind, when Ethan talks about the energy, guys, like, let's rally up and get everything we have left in the tank for this last map, you could really see it. Because when people say, yo, we need to get the energy up, you can mostly see it in terms of comms, and the micro and how they were playing with each other in terms of micro team play situations was phenomenal. The way they're using utils like U-Haul control. There's one-way flashes in a 2v2 where Boostio is taking the lead early in the game. It's things like this where that's how you can see when a team has energy, when they're calming and the team plays on point.
I feel like you have to give credit to Boostio, not only for his IGLing in the first few maps to get them going, but for the rally here. It was his performance in the first few rounds of Bind. And like Ethan mentioned in the interview, that constant energy he's giving this team that I think really helped them rally here.
Yeah, I mean, when you have your IGL who's out there in the front lines, kind of leading by example, saying, this is what I expect of you guys, it gives them that rallying boost to everybody else. So I think that Boostio, he was a bit quiet yesterday, came into today, certainly had his moments, had that ace on Pearl, even though they weren't able to close out that map, but he came into this Bind map, and he just started swinging, throwing haymakers, and my God, he was finding connections.
Yeah, and when they are hitting like that, it's hard not to feel motivated in that high-pressure situation. You're there, game 5, everyone, you know, thousands of people watching you here at the Kia Forum. It's very difficult to be able to perform in those instances. Both teams certainly did that. But when you highlight some of the players here, you got to give some love to Demon One. He really has been a key player for this team, not only, you know, throughout the season, Mimi, but in this series as well. He plays a variety of different roles, and he covers the areas that the team desperately needs.
Yeah, this guy has been excellent, I think. When he's playing on the Jet, he performs, and as well, he's proven that he can flex around to these controller roles and step up to the plate on those agents as well. Demon everyone remember, was a completely unknown name at the beginning of this year. He didn't even start off playing with EG into this year, comes in the middle of the season, and I think was really the catalyst for EG to start the turnaround that eventually got them to the playoffs in Americas, got them to Tokyo, and now got them here to the grand finals of a second global event a row. And him now carrying that performance for Americas over to the international stage here at Champions is so important for EG to keep this kind of run going.
Yeah. It felt like Demon 1 coming into the roster and just having as much impact as he did right away. It was kind of like a beacon, a guiding light for the rest of the players. And then we saw the rise of Calm, you know, this player who was so very much in question as to whether or not he should be on this roster. Should they swap back over for BCJ? And then there was just meteoric rises across the board for everybody here from the side of EG. So I can't give enough credit to just all of the players, but as well as Potter, who from the very beginning has just been believing in this roster, continued to grind with them, continued to push them to become better. And in the end, it was correct. So for every doubter out there,
yeah, no, honestly, really.
I can't say it, but you know.
I think it goes without saying. It's like, how are you, like, you start off the season, everyone's just confused about what's happening with this roster. No one knows what to expect. That was the narrative. And now we find ourselves here for Evil Geniuses fighting for a world championship.
It's nothing short of inspiring.
It's the most entertaining timeline.
This is a movie. This is a movie happening in real time. We're all a part of it. Okay?
I remember this moment from Lock-In when EG, remember they won one match there, go up against, I believe it was Team Talon Esports, and they nearly win that match. It slips away from them at the last second. They honestly had choked the game, and then they come back into it, and it's just over. They're eliminated. It's single elimination there. At the hotel lobby, I go back, and I talk to Potter, and she's just like distraught, like super sad about letting the game slip away, saying they had it in their hands, and was just like, I know we're going to do better when we come back to Americas. I know we're going to do better. I know what this team can do. And I think everyone doubted them. I think everyone felt that moment where that was just going to be EG, the EG who choked games, the EG who was like not going to win a match in Americas, and now they're here in another global grand final. It's just, it's the craziest rise I think I've seen out of any team in Valorant history.
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think. Esports history. I don't think I've seen anything like this before. I've seen some crazy things. I don't think I've seen that. So for all of you guys watching at home, y'all just experiencing some history right now, because this is some dope stuff, real talk. But that being said, though, let's continue to show you some more dope stuff, because it's taking us to our HyperX Reflex moment of the day. It's this incredible 4K from the man, the myth, the demon, Demon 1, who just, again, we continue to give him love. We continue to show and praise his name. But Mel, it comes for good reason, because, you know, there are a lot of things that can be said about a player that doesn't show up, you know, in the moments where you need to. But here and now, the moment where you need it, the ace was present, and that is all you can ask for from your star player.
And from a star player that we were talking about earlier, that came from essentially nowhere. Who knew Demon 1 before he was picked up to EG?
I was playing UT and posting frag videos on YouTube, bro.
Actually, though, he is insane. But it's thinking of going back to like the trust that they all have in each other. And really, as a player, and I mean for anyone watching, it really feels so inspiring to see that EG, it wasn't some super team with a bunch of money thrown at players, with the best players in the absolute world from the beginning of the day that we all knew were known quantities. They were all unknown quantities. And to see them come together in months and months of preparation and chemistry, it's so inspiring to think that you can just stick together as a team and just drop the egos and talk to each other, and months, everyone can be hating on you, but you just shut out the noise and put your head down and grind, and here they are in a grand final. It's nothing short of inspiring. It's just beautiful.
Money can buy you players, but it cannot buy you synergy. It cannot buy you friendship within a team, and those are the things that you need as a foundation to then be able to build upon. And that's what EG was able to find. So, yeah, the
same could be set for Paper X.
They struck the lottery.
The team that they're going to play in the grand finals tomorrow, the same exact thing can be said for them. It's two teams that have really just grinded it out, and now they find themselves fighting for a world championship. Incredible stuff. That being said, though, unfortunately, it means we do have to say goodbye to our 2022 champions, Loud. They won't be able to defend their titles, but let's be honest here for a minute. This could have gone either way. And on top of that, with the way that everyone was just dooming on Loud coming into this event, I am am so glad that they also shut up their doubters as well, Mimi.
Yeah, I mean, there was a chance we could have gotten the script 2 years in a row where they fall out of the second tournament of the year, come back, almost win the final. Unfortunately, they're eliminated here, but it's a great year for Loud. They started off by picking up 2 new players, Tui's and Cowanzine, who again weren't really known outside of Brazil, and developed them into superstars on this roster. They defined the meta. They're the team that started Harbor Viper, which everyone was playing.
They brought duelists and had them do different roles.
Yeah, and they switched over to it excellently. They continued to develop and show us new stuff here at Champions as well. And of course, they're still the winners of America's League, the runner-up at Lock-In, top 3 at this event. It's been a great year for Loud, and I expect that to continue into the 2024 season.
Yeah, it's just like Fnatic, right? It's a team that had one hell of a season. You got a lot to be proud of here. Unfortunately, it wasn't your day. You know, any given day, right? The chips can fall no matter where. But it really just goes to show that you can't really judge a book by its cover when it comes to, you know, what happens in some of these previous tournaments. You never know what can happen in this game.
I mean, even in the same series, we were sitting there like, dude, these 2 maps that they've won have been dominant.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even
It looked
close.
like they were going to stop them.
Exactly. I was completely thinking that too. Like, behind the chamber, I was doubting. And then here it is. And even in the final map, it was by no means bad Valorant that Loud did. They were playing incredible, in my opinion. They were having some good reads. They were fighting back site when there was util to stall them. I could see the comms and the energy. EG just happened to come out on top today, but full kudos to Loud. They played an amazing tournament, and I'm just glad to see. I'm just happy to see what they have for us in store for next year.
I am as well, but I'm so excited for tomorrow because obviously grand finals, we're going to be crowning a new champion. It's not going to be a repeat. It's going to be a new organization walking away with that trophy, but also a new region because we've had EU in the past. We've had Brazil. Yeah, whatever, Americas. Clearly, people are chanting USA in here. There's some degree of separation between the two. We had a Brazilian championship. Now it's either going to be a North American org or it's going to be an Asian representative. That is so incredibly hyped to see that it's just it just keeps getting passed around. No one can maintain that throne year over year. And the story here between these 2 squads now having that rematch after PaperX takes them down, after some incredibly close maps, I can't wait to see what happens with a full 5 set on the table.
And what's insane, well, there are experienced players on both these teams. No one has won a title in Valorant before at a global event in either of these teams. Either way, it's going to be 5 brand new players getting to be at the top of the game here in Valorant, and a full best of 5. We already saw it in the upper final, and that game was so damn close. Slightly different round here or there, and it could be PaperX who had to play Loud today.
I mean, it's the second crack at it here for PaperX. You know, obviously a Champions Trophy compared to a Masters Trophy, very different, a lot more prestige on the line here for them, but they've been in this position before. They have played that best of 5. They fell shy the first time. Is the second time the charm? We'll have to just wait till tomorrow to see.
This thing is genuinely an anime. I mean this.
It's the best storyline.
Yeah, you got a Jing. He's going to play his last match
he will literally be the last game of his career.
He could hold a championship over his head for the last match of his career as of right now, or Miracle Run completed from Evil Geniuses. How's that not an anime, bro? That's insane.
It's so cool.
It's like a WWE storyline come to life. I mean this.
It's the best storyline.
Yeah, you got a Jing. He's going to play his last match
he will literally be the last game of his career.
He could hold a championship over his head for the last match of his career as of right now, or you get the Miracle Run completed from Evil Geniuses. How's that not an anime, bro? That's insane.
It's so cool.
It's like a WWE storyline come to life. It's so cool. In any case, though, I'm excited. This has been awesome. We thank you all so much for joining us here today because, guys, coming up tomorrow, it's the grand finals. PaperX takes on Evil Geniuses, the biggest Valorant event of the year, and we're going to be rolling out the gold carpet and starting things an hour early, which is good because I had no idea that was happening, so that means I got to wake up a little earlier. That means you do too, and you don't want to miss the pre-show because we're going to have tons of shenanigans. The biggest names in Valorant, gaming, and music will be here at the Kia Forum, and a new map will be revealed.